Hello everyone, and welcome to this devlog about my game dev journey with my game Treasured, a temple raiding, museum building, co-op puzzle game. Some might say this week's progress is a little slow, but this time I think I made a huge progress. I actually have to restructure the video a little bit differently because of the large amount of stuff I have implemented. I have said this over and over again, but I want you guys to play the game together. One of the simplest, but in my opinion also the coolest way to play is couch co-op. Sitting on the same couch, watching the same TV, and playing with your own controllers. That is the most wholesome way to play the game. And, well, you can. This is still work in progress, but you can just use multiple controllers on a single system. Simply press A, not sure if this is final, and now there are multiple players. Very nice. And now for something completely different, but trust me, if you keep on watching the video, it will make sense. I had a talk with Matt Bull from Head Tilt Games. We talked about the remote play feature of Steam. With this feature, you don't even need to implement online stuff. The only thing you need to implement in Unity is the local multiplayer. And well, that's it. In Steam, you just have to press join with remote play and well, now you're playing the game together. Remote play makes the game think your invited friend is just another controller plugged into your system. This is a very nice feature and I encourage you guys to use it, since latency might be lower. I don't really know, take that with a big grain of salt. I also told him my business side of things. I mean, Hunterson Studio is a legit business and Treasured is my product. If or when I want to contact a publisher to port the game to consoles, the Switch for example, I need to make a special build for the Switch. And then Steam's remote play will not work, of course, so I need to add online multiplayer to the game. Because I now need to add such a complicated feature to the game, a publisher might not want to make a deal. If I have already implemented the online play, the publisher might want to make a deal. Please note that adding an online feature does not automatically mean that publishers want to make a deal with you. And also, the game might not be ported to consoles. For now, Steam is what I'm aiming for. But I will not say that it will never be released on consoles. So, let me introduce online play. Of course, the museum is not finished. I will work on that in the next phase of the roadmap, so don't you worry. It was actually quite easy to implement the online feature. Keep in mind, I have been programming for 7 to 8 years now, so my definition of easy might not be the same for everyone. Most of the main features have been implemented over the weekend. And during the week, I have been testing everything, making sure that things work reliably. I've been fixing bugs and I have looked at edge cases. There will still be stuff that I have missed, so more bugs will be found later. When I say edge cases, I actually mean when you are a client playing with your friend, who is the host, and your controller disconnects, what happens to your game or your friend's game? Or another case, what happens when an online player's connection is lost during a level? Do all players disconnect? Does the level just stop? Or can your friends continue? Also, how is it shown? I have to answer all of these questions and more to make sure the game is enjoyable and understandable for everyone. Let me now show you the current state of the game. Alright, here we have the current state of the game. I can press A to create a player, which looks really nice. This is a placeholder player, so don't get too attached to being Indiana Jones, but it is really nice to look at something a little bit nicer than just a capsule, but yeah. Interactions are in the game already, so I can press this button with the X button, and now the door opened up. I can press it again to close, for example. There you go. But that is not the main reason for all of this. I can press E as well on my keyboard to then create another player. So this is another local player, and this all works really nice. I can then, for example, start a new level, and this all works really nicely. So there we go. We have both players with the keyboard as well. And to get back to the museum, I can press to museum. All right, let's get rid of that real quick. The great thing about all of this is, of course, these two buttons here, the host and the join button. I have a laptop set up, so I can show you the join button as well. Well, I cannot show you, but you can see in this window. So if I press host, you can now see in this top right corner the ping, which means that we are now connected to the server. We can still walk around, we can still start levels, but yeah, it works. So let me now press the join button on my laptop. And as you can see, we jumped to the same location, which is not ideal. This is my player, by the way. We can see that because we are following this player. This player is a online player, which can just go off screen. As you can see, if I move to the other room, we cannot see the other online player. This is by design, so don't worry. I can, of course, also walk around with my other player. And you can see that, well, he can move off screen. Very nice. Of course, if I now press a level, we can see it still goes black like normal. We do have some jittering and stuff going on. It's still work in progress, guys, don't worry. And we can walk around, we can complete the level. I can move the other stick as well, and we can play the level together. I am not really good at controlling both. If I then go to the, oh yeah, we can also see there's now a disconnect button because we are now connected to the internet, of course. And when we go back to the museum, we can see that both our online player and our local player are still here. If I now add another local player to the laptop, for example, we can see that another player has joined, which is the other player. If I move him down, we can also see his face. And then if I add another player to our local players, we can now see all of the faces that I currently have set up for our multiple characters. Really nice. So that is the current state of the game. Local players, multiplayers, online players, I mean. Oops. Yeah, there you go. In last week's video, I put some tasks on my whiteboard. And I actually thought adding the basic networking, so spawning a player and making sure they walk around on all clients, would take this entire week. But instead, the local multiplayer and the basic networking is done now. I can now add some more specific and advanced things, like making sure the interactions are synced. The whole multiplayer part is also done. You can play with multiple local players and online players. It just needs to be 4 players in total. Some might argue I need to test it more, and that is true. But I will just make a new task called Testing Multiplayer, which will make that more specific. I still have to look into Steam, since you cannot invite or join friends via Steam. which is the goal of that task. I have also started with the gameplay features, which you could have seen in my simple playthrough. I will just get rid of this task and make some more specific ones, like adding buttons and doors, which I have already completed as well. I will go into more detail about gameplay features in a future devlog. I have also made a decision on the split screen issue. Remember, I didn't know if I want to go for zooming in and out, generic split screen, or dynamic split screen. Also, this is just applied to the local players. Online players can just walk off screen. For now, I will keep the zooming functionality. I just need to do some more testing on how far the camera can zoom and if I want the players to go off screen or if I want to prevent that. I will just add more specific tasks to the whiteboard now. Later on in development, when I get negative feedback on the zooming, I might make an update to dynamic split screen. But I guess that will then become an early access update. So let's not worry about that now. For the upcoming week, I want to add Steam and some more gameplay features. I want to test everything more thoroughly and tidy the project up a little bit more. A lot of cool stuff is being worked on and I can't wait to see the end result. And play with friends, of course. Hopefully I can do a simple yet fun playtest with some friends in the upcoming weeks. Mostly just to see if the online stuff works, but also to have some good fun. But that will require a more stable version of the game, with more gameplay features and a fun level to play. If you want to stay up to date on the development, consider subscribing to the channel. Follow me on Twitter or join the Discord server. A rating and comment on what you think about the progress would be highly appreciated. It really helps the video getting seen by others. That is it for this week's video. Until next time, take care.